Everybody, how are you? I hope you're well. Tonight we are going to be doing some card making, so if that feels like your sort of thing, then please grab a piece of card and you can craft along with me. We are going to hang on for a little minute just to wait for a few more people to jump on, and then we will get started. So if you are catching up later and you prefer to fast forward this little bit, I totally understand. Please feel free to do that, and then as soon as I start making, you can have a little look. Okay. Right, let's get this going so that I can see any comments. So here we are. This is the last live of this year. That's quite exciting. So I thought we'd do some card making tonight, just something nice, easy, sort of do a quick panel. I'd have put a short art journaling short on YouTube and as a reel on Instagram today, so if you would like to have a little look at a quick art journaling thing, you can absolutely do that on there. But like I say, we're going to do some card making tonight. So I have gone into, I have to say, I have spent most of my day stamping and colouring in, because you may have noticed that through this month I have been trying to put on short videos every day, and that has very much eaten into my stamped ephemera stash. So that is going to be my task for the next week or so, is just doing some more and restocking those. So what I've done, oh, none of the comments are coming up, that's okay. So what I've done is I've thought, right, we'll get in and use some of the things that I have left to make a card, and then perfect, I will know exactly what I need to re-add. There we go, there's my comments. Hi Alison, hi Moira. Okay, so I could probably zoom in a little bit more. That's probably a little bit more helpful. Okay, so I've gone and I've got a sunflower, Doodle art sunflower, and Doodle art butterfly, and that's given me my colours for this evening. So we're going to be using oranges and yellows and that sort of thing. And I've got a card panel ready to go. Now for these, I have obviously coloured these, watercoloured these using Oxides. They've got that sort of lovely chalky sort of finish. So that's definitely what I'm going to be using to create the background, something quite soft in terms of colour and give that lovely sort of chalky effect. And I have coloured in some new sunflowers today, so just to show you the difference. So this is done, like I say, with Oxides, and then I've done this one with Eco Lines, and you can just tell with the difference of colour that this has got that sort of blended ink of the Oxide with it, whereas this is done with just more of a dye ink. And it's just a different look, and not one is not better than the other, it's just different. Okay, so we'll go, like I say, with those. You've made a birthday card today and have to make another tomorrow. But I do think that's good. I think that can be good this time of year to actually have, I have no idea what that was, but I'm not picking it up now. I think it's good to have a project to work for. Right, so to keep things, we're going to keep things nice and easy and breezy. So we're going to use our mustard seed and carved pumpkin Oxide. Okay, and we're going to start off with a little bit of smushing, I think, just to, like I say, it just keeps it easy. A lovely easy way to start. So we'll spritz that up, and I'm using a white linen card, and we're going to put that in there. Lovely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry between layers, so that I can sort of freeze those drips in place as much as possible, because I absolutely love those for a bit of what I call flat texture. It's like giving it texture but not. Hello Rachel and Darcy. So it's like giving the card texture but not, in a way, because it's not giving it any more dimension or anything like that. So we're just going to put these on here, try and dry these drips in place, manipulate them a little bit. Feels like my heat gun's revving itself. So that's fun. And we've got to add on a few more of these drops. Now, I will say, I've been very drawn to yellows, warm colours in the last week or so. Don't know why. One would say almost like my autumn colours. They've really been sort of getting my attention this week. I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I say that, and I was using a lot of pinks earlier. Right, I'm just going to wipe that off. A little bit of that water that's still in there. Like I said, I've been colouring in all day, so there's colour everywhere. I do apologise for the state of my hands. Now, I'm actually not going to smush with my mustard seed because I actually don't want to disturb any of these droplets. I really like how they've come out, and I sort of want to keep them fixed in place. So I'm just going to dry this last one off. I didn't see that one because I don't want to smudge it or get orange ink on my blending brush. So here we go. I'm going to go for my mustard seed. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to almost blend into these areas instead. Okay. And that way that's not going to disturb any of that pattern that we've got going on there. Just going to... And then that sort of holds that one intact. But it's given me those lovely fiery colours. Now what I might do is add in some green to the background, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel in a second. Okay, so I'm going to go for, let's grab, luckily it was not my Dinkables stash that went flying to the floor. So I'm going to pick up Dinkable set number 14. Because 14 is fabulous. You've got a couple of different leaf patterns in there, and I think what I'm going to do is use the mask rather than the stencil. Okay, so I'm going to get my carved pumpkin back with a blending brush. Just turn this in a way that I find easy. Now they are going to move a little. If that bothers you, then you can of course use like an adhesive spray, stick them down. You can always blend your ink in, just sort of, I'm just going for something quite soft. I don't necessarily want a harsh blended line, just something to give that impression of leaves. But you can build it, you can build up the layers so that they're as much or as little as you want. And then I'm going to go on here. Well, that one's come up quite nicely. And then we'll do something similar with this one, but I'm not going to re-ink my brush. I'm just going to use what's on here. Sort of giving a really sort of fiery look, isn't it? I think we are going to need a little bit more ink to get the best out of that one. Well, that's better. Beautiful. And then just to sort of throw in something slightly different, I'm going to use this one, also from set 14. I'm going to try as much as I can to not use more than one Dinkable set in a project unless it's a bigger one, to make it as sort of easy to follow. Okay, and I'm going to go with the Twisted Citron. We're going to add in some hearts in Twisted Citron because it's not necessarily the colour you would immediately think of to add hearts in, which automatically means you should. Well, that's not the right colour for that. For me, that's just, well, then that's definitely the colour I'm going to use. You know, by saying that's not the one I should use, well, here it comes, you know. And then I'm going to go for, I'm going to grab my ledger stamp. The background for this one is currently nowhere to be found, so I am sorry. But I'm just going to go with my ledger and we're just going to add in some, again, in the green. And I'm just going to heat set that a second. My Twisted Citron ink pad is so wet. I always like to give it a little bit of a... You find that though, don't you? Especially with Distress, I think. Some of the ink pads just are a little bit wetter than others. I like it though, especially if I'm doing some embossing too. And then I'm just going to grab my dots inkable. Now this is a 6x6. There are dots available in Dinkables as well. They're in set number 2. But if you want a bigger one, this is the one to do it. And I have, you're going to be amazed at me at the minute, I have set aside one of my brushes just for Versamark. And I'm going to put some of that into my brush. And I'm just going to go into random areas with my Versamark. And then I'm going to go on with my white. Tap off the excess. This has stuck to some of the hearts, so some of those might disappear. But I think that can also be quite good fun. It can really sort of, I don't know, add something different that you haven't really planned, which I actually really like in my crafting. I spent a long time crafting, having everything exactly how I planned it out, and I actually really enjoy now the pleasant surprises. Transparency prints of the ledger. Oh, I can do that, my love. You'd like some small happy birthday sentiments, please. In what format, Moira? Transparency prints, wordy stickers. What's your preference? Put my Versamark sticker there. Then I'm going to get my Twisted Citron back. Okay. And we're going to work, I'm going to do a little bit of a blended edge. A retirement card, any suggestions? Love the hearts on the bottom left. Well, you see, Alison, that's sort of what I was saying. So where the powder, excuse me, has stuck to like the edges of the hearts, you've now got this lovely sort of mixed media feel, which is just fun. And I love that. I love it when something's just sort of, it feels like a little added bonus that I really like. I don't see it as, oh, that didn't go how I wanted. I see it as more like, look at that bonus we've got, which is really, really good. All right. So I'm going to get my number 8 Pigma Micron. Okay, stamps or stickers, not fussy. Well, stickers are quicker in terms of design to number 8. Micron isn't working, so no, I won't be using that. In terms of me getting it designed and to you is quicker with stickers, papers, transparency prints, obviously. Because, you know, stamps just take a bit longer, they just do. So I can have a look at that for you this week, no problem. Does anyone do anything exciting for New Year? I haven't done anything for the New Year since the millennium. I had these high expectations and it was quite disappointing, so I never really did another one. Yeah, there is some happy birthdays on one of the sheets, but yeah, if it's something you use a lot of, I can totally understand why you would want more. But I could do them sort of birthday themed rather than just all happy birthday. Like some funny birthday phrases too. Put my faux stitch on. And then but this is definitely the thing, guys, you have to let me know. And also, if I don't, you know, I'll do as much as I can. I'm going as fast as I can. And you can see I'm trying to put together more inspiration and things like that. So if you do want to make product suggestions and stuff, I really, really want you to do that. But so I will also say, if you think, well, it's a few weeks since I mentioned that to her, I'm okay with you chasing me up. I'm okay with you reminding me. I do have, you know, that little touch of creative distraction. So it's not that I've forgotten, I've just got distracted and then focused on something else. So absolutely chase me up. I'm totally okay with that. I don't, oh, you're not a pest or a problem or anything like that. Just give me a little shake up and say, I mentioned these, are you any closer to actually doing it? I'm really okay with that. You know, I won't see it as you annoying me or anything, so please don't think that. I had a couple of lovely messages over Christmas that I replied to. From people that were just on their own, wanted to say hello, so that's absolutely fine. I did encourage that, absolutely. But that doesn't just have to be a festive period thing. You can message me anytime, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, so obviously I am a fan of the faux stitch and I love adding it on. This is not something you have to do. I just like it. I think it adds a little element to it. And this is something I've done for years. Even when I was back being an absolutely overly regimented scrapbooker. I'm not saying all scrapbookers are over regimented. I'm saying I was. I did this. Because look. It just looks so lovely when you stick it down. blooming fabulous. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. I was meant to have a look for some bigger foam pads today. These are my last bigger ones. Everything else I've got smaller. So I've put far too many on here. Oh well. Yeah, honestly, I stayed up for the millennium and I was like, oh, it's going to be this big thing, and it really wasn't. And whatever. I have to say, the 98 to 99 New Year, I was 16, was a brilliant one. Absolutely fabulous. Okay. Look at that. Absolutely lovely. I'm going to get my card. And you see now, when you put those layers on there, it's just beautiful. Now, obviously, last week I did a little art journal page that was more clean and simple, which is not my wheelhouse. But I do think that would translate to a card front really, really well. So, hang on, let me just... I don't know where my double-sided tape is. So this is having wet glue. I mean, something I should have prioritised today, instead of stamping and colouring, was cleaning in my craft room. I feel I made the right choice though. Okay, so last week's page. So this was today's page. So you can see that on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. Last week's page was this one. See what I mean about the yellows and warm tones? Very focusy at the minute. But you can see that would go onto a card front absolutely beautifully. You wouldn't even need to layer that up on black, I don't think. But that's how, if you are new to me and Bee Crafty, this is something I do say a lot. I card make like I art journal like I make ATCs, etc. It's all very transferable. Consistent for me. I don't have things that I only use. I don't only ink smush for cards. I don't only do backing papers for art journaling. I really like to mix my techniques, mix my products up and use them for everything, because why wouldn't you? Okay. So from here we're going to go, I think I might put the sunflower this side because I think it looks really nice with those white dots coming out around it. What do you think? I think that looks really nice there. I'm going to put the sunflower on there with those white dots sort of just coming out the back. It's going to be lovely. Okay, and then let's have a look at this. Yeah, we're going to put that butterfly right in that gap there, as if it was made for it, because it may well be. Okay, I've tended to put the flower on the left, so I actually really like this. All right, and then I think I'm going to go with, I got my small words out, didn't I? And now it's like I don't have any other stamps. So, so I'm going to get some of my small words, I think. And then here we go. This one's going to be perfect. I've got a little cut off linen card here. So we're going to go with Let Your Dreams Take Flight off the small words and the WORDage stamps. Tap that on there. Give that a little waft with my heat tool because I am liable for smudging. say? Okay. And then big scissors. For here. And then we will, I think we'll swallowtail both ends. So we'll go with a little, tell you what, we will use some of those small foams. On this here sentiment. I'm just going to put that across there. But I think as well, what I'm also going to do, I'm going to peel that off and put it straight. That's better. As I'm also going to, this is the one that I said didn't work, yes. We're going to redo the butterflies dealy boppers. And for anyone who says they're not called dealy boppers, I'd like to take this moment to inform you, if you don't already know, I'm a biology person. Yeah, I know, you can't tell. Okay. So there is a fun, fabulous doodle art card. Didn't realise I'd put that on so wonky. But that's all right. I think it gives it character. Okay. But these background building techniques, they're absolutely perfect for all of your paper craft. Do you know what I mean? For your ATCs, for your postcards, for your tags, for your card making, for your art journal. They're all transferable, so make sure you have a go and use your products. None of your products are wasted if you're using them. Okay, like I say, if anyone needs anyone to talk to, please send me a message, and all the products are available on the Bee Crafty website. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.